I'm Bianca.
And I'm Byron.
Welcome to the Self-Made Book channel. And today we're speaking with the fantastic Belange Okandju. Is that right?
That's right.
Thank you. I've been practicing. It was good pronunciation right there. And he is the founder of MCM. And I want to hear all about it. I want to understand how you got to this position you're in today.
Well, first, before you get there, people don't know what MCM is.
I know, but okay, all right. Tell a little bit about what MCM is, but then I want to go back first before we hear the whole story about where you are today.
Okay.
All right, so MCM first. What is it?
MCM, so we are a media production company and we specialize in making black people look bloody amazing.
I vouch for that. I've seen some beautiful photography.
Thank you very much.
Who edits it?
Very much.
Just digressing.
So I edit it and my two business partners, so Phil and Charlie, also edit. But as we get busier and busier, you now just offload that to editors who edit all day.
Okay. All right, so go on. So media company, tell us a bit more. How does that look?
So we do photo production, we do video production, we also do brand consulting. So it's the whole kind of production package. So not only do we advise people on how to make certain things look good, we also then take the picture or the video content for it. And that just means we don't have to palm it off to anyone else after you've consulted the person about it. So really
And why? So why did you create this brand?
well, that puts me back a good 10 years now. Because
Don't look old enough.
That was quite good. I was going to say that. And I was like, no, it's cliche. Don't say it. But you said it, so it's fine.
No, it does. I know. You drink water. That's it.
No, was that the secret? All right.
H2O. It's there's no secret. It's H2O. That's it. So off the back of my masters, so I completed my masters, done the whole education thing, and I was like, you know what? I always wanted to go to the city, all that stuff that you kind of think you want to do.
Yeah.
I got a job for a year and they offered me an extension. I looked at the contract and no word of a lie, the thing that actually turned me off was the fact that it said you get 25 days holiday. I was like, well, no, I don't want 25 days holiday. That just seems ridiculous. And this is coming off of uni, you've got months, you've got 3 months to do whatever you want, and all of a sudden it's 25 days, and he tried to make me buy into it by saying, that's like 5 weeks. This it really don't work like that. So at that point I bit the bullet, went self-employed and took a total of 0 holidays.
Great.
Brilliant.
Great sacrifice and choices there.
That's it, but it was my choice. And that was primary reason why I done it.
Love it.
My choice.
Yeah. And that's the truth, isn't it? Like, on paper, 25 days might seem like a lot or might not seem like a lot to some. But then when you go and you're self-employed, those 25 days will become 7 days to 5 to none. Subject. And when you're on holiday, you're still
working. Exactly.
Exactly. So it's not as rosy and glamorous as one might think.
It always looks great though, online, but in reality,
It does.
yeah.
100%.
But you're doing what you love.
I'm doing what I love, and that, beats everything else. Everyone's pushing this entrepreneur life now. It's a thing now. It's trending. But a lot of people don't know the grind that goes on behind it, whether it's financially or, let's say, anxieties. You're not sleeping, you're not eating. You're falling out with your parents here and there, because I just done a master's degree in international business and entrepreneurship. On top of that, it was a distinction. And then I told my dad, like, look, I'm going into this creative thing.
How did that go down?
It did not go down well.
Okay.
It didn't go down well at all. But I stuck with it. 4 years down the line, I started showing him my returns, and he was like, fair enough. But that being said, my dad himself is very much entrepreneurial kind of guy. the first one to leave his village from Congo, where everyone was living. He was like, you know what, this town's too small for man still, I need to go to the city. Went to the city, then he was like, you know what, this city is kind of not doing it. Went to Nigeria, working a lot with hiring out jets and whatnot. And he was like, you know what, we're going to London. And then after a while, finished with London, he said, I'm going back to Congo.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
there's the trace there of doing what you need to do to get where you need to get. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what I need to do because I know where I'm trying to get. And here we are.
So you spoke, but before we get to I want to talk about that anxiety and stuff in a minute, right? Before we get, I just want to just, whilst we got the audience attention for now, talk about some of the clients that you've worked with. I know you had some hot shot clients, other than, of course, actually I don't think you've done me. You've done one of my companies. You've not done me. But talk about some. I don't know if I've got the budget for it, but you know, I know you had some zeros on the end. But can you tell us some of the clients that you've done photography and or videography for?
Yeah, we've worked with a few people, prominent people, over the past couple of years. Some people we've generally just bumped into and they wanted to work with us. We've worked with a pair of you two as well. We've worked with Ikram, who's a model now, a model's model who's doing big things now for Vogue. But we shot with her a couple of years ago before the ascension. She was already there, but now she's like. She's gone. We've worked with a lot of, and her image as well kind of went into Vogue.
The image you shot went into Vogue.
Yeah.
Love that. You said it so casually. I just wanted to clarify.
The
image went into Vogue.
No, but it's those are the small things that sort of give you that little, you're doing the right thing, even though it may not seem as though you're doing the right thing. But even prior to that, we done another shoot with a model from LA who's called Christina. She's now like a director in LA, but that also went in Vogue. That was our first shoot to go into Vogue, full page in Vogue. And there was one more, which was a client in London that also went in Vogue. So that was 3 to go into Vogue. That really gave us the pat on the back. We've also worked with Jordan Dunn, I think that's her name. And there were both Jordans here, but we worked with Jordan, who was on Love Island. We kind of started at the same period of time, like 7 odd years ago. Who else? There's just too many pictures now in my head. And Sherry Silver as well, who's doing amazing things now. She won the Grammy for Best Choreography, for... What's the video with Danny Glover's brother? The America. This is America.
This is America, yeah.
Yeah, she done the choreography for that, and she just took the world by absolute storm.
Sure.
So those are
That's a highly acclaimed video. People were really excited about that video.
Amazing. It was an amazing video, and everything about it was just a winner. And we worked with Sherry. I've known Sherry for quite some time as well. So, yeah. It's there. We're now building a list slowly. And
was that the aspiration? Was it to work with these high-profile people? Now, why did you create the business? What was the focus?
Well, the main focus, as I said, was to create really, really stunning imagery for like the culture. So I wouldn't necessarily say just to go out there and shoot black people, but it was for the culture. And at that time, people didn't really want to be like, we only shoot black people. Shoot black people, but I was like, we only shoot black people, but it became a choice after a while. Before, we'll shoot whatever, it didn't really matter, but once you kind of found your niche at that point, it became a niche. I'm not a big fan of USPs. I kind of let things graduate, and then the people will find your niche, and then the niche became you lot shoot black skin very well, and we just ran with it.
But was that because, when I ask you the why, what I'm I guess trying to ask is, did you see a problem? Did you look at photography and say, look at how badly lit these black people are, look at how we're not being able to represent their skin tone and the richness of their colour? Like, what was it for you that drove you in that direction?
funny enough, you should say that because someone just mentioned that to me as well. I think a couple of weeks ago about representation, or not being lit properly was a particularly big one, and that was always in the back of my mind, especially when we were doing our shoots. Was that, you know, we really need to make sure people's skin tones are shown correctly, because you light black, melanin, brown skin, whatever the PC term is these days, you light it wrong, that person don't look like that. You know, all of a sudden they're 10 shades brighter, or you don't like them at all, and you know, it doesn't look right. So we really did home in on making sure that the skin looked like how the individual looked like. And yeah, I guess that was like the role of us championing and finding the problem, should I say, in the industry, and being like, alright, cool, let's do our part, sort of fix that.
So you spoke about anxiety.
Yes.
So I just want to understand, has there been any times on your journey? How long have you been in business now?
I'll say 10 years actually. Funny.
So over these last 10 years,
Yeah.
have you had any experiences of extreme anxiety?
I don't know what else, if I'll call it extreme, because one part I did miss out is that after I finished uni, it was what happened in not the depression, the crash, or the credit crunch. So it was one of the worst times. You know, I just finished my master's with a distinction, and I couldn't find a job for a good 10 months. I couldn't find a job. You can imagine. Like, I got this paper in my hand telling me that I'm like 90% international. It's like, shit, you're the shit right now. But ain't nobody want you.
Yeah.
You know, so it was really, really heavy at that period of time. And I always joke about this with my mom and that, but I was like, if I was to sit with a doctor, they probably would have said, you're depressed, because it was a very, very tough time. You know, to have that level of credentials and just no, we're not hiring, credit crunching, we're actually letting people go, and I never, you know, went to anyone to qualify any anxiety or depression or whatever. But looking back at it, I'm like, rah, I could have easily been at that point where I'd be like, rah, you're really going through the mills right here. Because you're trying to figure out what your tomorrow is, what are you doing with all this talent and skills, the whole community is applauding you. You're one of the first to get a master's in the community, and you're jobless. You know, it was peak.
I can imagine. So how did you overcome that?
Well, I kept on applying. You had no choice, you know. And what made it harder, funny enough, was government changing housing plans and whatnot. So it was like, Mum was like, you need to do something. So I kept applying, and then I had no choice. So that's always the thing in the back of my head is like, you gotta make this happen. Even going uni, I was like, I'm not going there to fail. There's no point. You might as well not go, period. So if you're gonna go there, go do the whole thing and do it well, finish well. So I was like, yeah, I can't sit here and wallow. You know, how long is this gonna go on for? You know, you need to keep on pushing. And I guess that's where the sixth sense, spiritual side, whatever you want to call it, you tap into that and you make it happen. You genuinely just have to make it happen, or else what's the option? Crumbling. That's not an option.
It's not an option.
Nobody got time to crumble.
No.
Yeah.
No one got time for it.
So interesting, because I feel like of our generation, I think there was an illustration that from our parents, I think, that you do your education, you do well in your education, that sets you up for life.
Yeah.
And I think when the recession happened, for all of us, it had different impacts, different stages. But you realise then that you did every step you were meant to take. Everything your school told you to do, You went and got your degree. For you went and got your master's, and you came out and there was nothing promised actually at the end.
Facts.
But a whole load of student debt.
A whole load of student debt.
And it's even worse now for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if yours was treble.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
So how did you know you were
man.
skilled in photography? Because your degree is not anything to do with the creative.
Yeah, well,
arts world.
I've always been in the creatives.
Okay.
So from year 9, my GCSEs, most of them were creatives. So I've done art, graphics, and media. So they always involved graphics, filming, shooting, illustration. Always. So since year 9, which puts me at 13, 14, I've always been in the creatives. I've done it at college, arts, graphics, media. My BA is in media and business. And then I thought, I know enough media now, let me go business. And I've done international business and entrepreneurship. So when people say, it's like, I don't want to say I kind of always knew what I wanted, but I kind of knew where I was going. So all my sort of studies went that way.
Yeah.
And the entrepreneurship, I think that was at college when teachers were like, oh, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And they made it to be like a very singular thing. Like you have to do this
One thing. Yeah.
And I was like, well, what if you want to do multiple things? Where's the word for that? And they were like, yeah, it's entrepreneurs. Like, yeah, it's entrepreneur. I was like, alright, cool.
That's it then. I'll do that one.
That's what I want to do.
Over there. Because all these things seems to put you in this singular path and that's it. I'll be like, well, it's a bit long. Because if you're good at multiple things, then what choice have you got? Because you lot clearly got your boxes labeled. And everyone's just trying to pick. And I was like, nah. And yeah, the entrepreneur, it just went from there. But I didn't study it until actual uni, because there was not much about entrepreneurship in them times. You were just doing what you had to do. The Sir Alan Sugar, he was doing what he had to do, build his business, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't labelled entrepreneur, you know, and this. But yeah, I'm glad it went that way.
So how do you keep yourself focused?
Oh, God. That's tough. That's tough. I think a good way to keep yourself focused is knowing where on earth you're heading to. Because if you know that you're going to a particular end game, then you know that, all right, this is not for me. This is a waste of time. I can't do this. I can't do this. And in the process of elimination, you get focused. Because you ain't got time for that. And there you go.
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me? Well, starting from the top, the old man. Because as I said, he went from there to there to there to there to there. Whether it was even leaving your family for a couple of years in order to do so, that wasn't news in those times. Man, then will leave the family to go and do
that
what they had to
now.
do. You know what happens now.
Anarchy, that happens now. Let me go say I want to go somewhere and start something up. I'm finished.
That's it. It happens, you know. But and he done that. He done that several times, because he knew kind of what he was trying to do, and he knew that the particular place wasn't it. There was something that was just restricting him, or for some reason he felt he can do it better somewhere else. So he definitely inspires me to keep pushing on this whole self-entrepreneur business life, because ultimately he done it. You know, so we're actually finishing our first apartment building in Congo, in Kinshasa. So 4-story, 3 stores out front, 6 beds, 6 apartments to rent out. And that's the first project that he's finishing back home, you know, which cost him a lot of money, but nonetheless, he done it. You know, so it is a number one, you know, inspiration in that sense. And with all due respect, I don't want to name anyone else.
Okay.
So leave it to the old man and be like, you can take the accolade on that one.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. Okay, cool. So you have some business partners.
Yes.
Who is there one of you that I guess drives the business forward? Because everybody has their skills, everybody has their their niches in what they do. Everybody brings something different to the table. Is there anyone in particular that pushes the business forward and brings you guys together?
That would be me because I'm the oldest.
Okay.
So my partners are my cousins. So on my mom's side and on my dad's side. So as I'm the oldest and I taught them a lot, the skills as well. So I am like the natural sort of spearhead of MCM as we venture to Africa, which is our next thing. So I am the spearhead, put it that way. And
do you think age is the most relevant part of that, or do you think it's because it was your initial vision?
I think it goes both ways. The reason I'll say age, because it's the whole African mentality, he's the older brother.
Okay.
And on top of that, you know, I underpin the business side of it. You know, so whether it's the whole marketing, the accounting, all the business side of it, I underpin all of that. I do all of that. And they are sort of charged with the whole creative side and now sort of managing the operation side. So yeah, I underpin the business side. So and they respect that.
I think what's so good is the fact that you did a business degree as well as having that creative input.
Yeah.
It's so interesting when I've met creatives before. They are just phenomenally creative.
Yeah.
They're great at their creative element, but they don't understand the business side of it, and that's why they struggle. 100%. And you kind of corrected that balance by having a bit of both.
That is facts. In the industry that we're in, if you're either a super creative and you don't have any business sense, hence the business model is to be in an agency.
Yes.
Because the agency handles the business side, and you as a creative, you just come do your thing
and leave.
Yeah. But not everyone has that option, because we tried for agencies, and it just wasn't happening. So
why do you think that was?
Oh, God knows. it can get political. It could get political.
Well, we don't mind.
It was, you know, sometimes they'll easily say maybe your portfolio, it wasn't good enough, or your portfolio tended to a certain hue and it didn't mix, and I'll be like, well, all right, whatever. You know, we move. You know, that's the lingo nowadays, like, we move. So we just kept on going, and after a while it's like, well, there's no point then, isn't it? Let's just keep on doing what we need to do, and we'll get there eventually. You don't need an agency. It's good because it takes care of a lot of the business side of it, and then you can do the
creative check.
Yeah, that's it. Just sit there,
minus
get your check.
Agency fees.
Exactly. So there was loads of reasons, but we didn't hold it any grudges about it. You know, you just get on with it. There's a lot of crying these days. Everybody want to cry about something, so you know, just get on with it, really.
So you mentioned international expansion.
Yes.
What does that look like for you?
Africa.
Okay, why?
Because that's home.
Okay.
That's home. That is literally it. That is home, and there's such a need of good images, let's say. The whole narrative. We're not the first people to come splouting this stuff, you know, the whole changing of the narrative, la-di-da, la-di-da. But it's us doing our part in this whole narrative changing sort of situation. And it's not simply just going there to just take a bunch of pictures for the sake of it, but it's purposely aiming at the narrative. Because when I book flights to go home, BA, whatever you want to go, the images that you see when you go to Africa is all animals.
Yeah.
It's always animals. You go on Virgin, BA, South Africa, it's always an animal. There's some leopard, there's a giraffe. is always animals. I'm like, right, is this
Like there's going to be no people there.
like no one's just some barren lands with hella giraffes
Yeah.
and chimpanzees
Like seeing
and
people
that's
is
it.
a deterrent.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm like, well, what's that all about? Because not to say that it's not there, but I've been to Africa several times. I ain't even been on safari. I've been in the city. I've been to the nice places, the posh hotels, the beautiful beaches. I've seen life over there. And all of this is minus a giraffe.
Yeah.
Yet on all of their websites, it's
Yeah,
always
it was,
Yeah.
the wildlife.
Safari.
That's the calling card.
Yeah. And I get it for them. I get it. But
Why do you think
Why
that
do
is
you get
that?
it?
Yeah. Why is that?
from a marketing perspective, the people that they are targeting, they go in Africa for safari.
Think so.
But I feel like they think they're going to Africa for safari because that's what they're shown.
But that's what he's
There you
saying.
go.
That's what he's
But
saying.
the
What I'm
marketing.
saying to you is, if they were shown something else, they would then want to go and see something else. So
There you go.
it's like they've been fed this content. This
Marketing.
is why we need
That's my
But it's the same
point.
as Jamaica.
Very
They
true.
only ever show like the sandals kind of beach.
Yeah.
They show a palm trees.
What do you want them
coconut.
to show?
Oh, well, they never. You're right. I don't know. But I know that when I go,
You know there's more to life
There's
other than
more
that,
to life
right?
than that.
Yeah.
And I think when you go to, and I've been to Africa and Jamaica and so on, and you see their advertising campaigns even,
Yeah.
you know, they will have like, the traditional brands will have their own version of an African advert for
Yeah.
their brand, right?
Yeah.
The picture quality is never great.
Yeah.
The
I always find
colouring
that
is
bizarre,
never good.
actually.
And you're in their territory. You're now selling, you've put a black person on the cover now to change the narrative to sell to black people, but you've put a not very good quality image.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why are
Everything
you
is
not
subpar.
portraying yourself positively in your own territory?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bad
That's-
enough when you don't get good pictures here, but you're in your own country.
It's a shambles, but it's not even like they're not there. The quality of their images is there, but I guess it's the people who are being hired to do the work, and this is where the marketing for me is champion, because as you said, they're only showing them what they want to know. But when you think of it from the business side of it, the amount of 18 to 35-year-olds going home now is huge. I know so many people for this year, it's like, oh, it's the first time I'm going back to Nigeria. It's the first time I'm going back to Ghana. First time I'm going back to
Is this for
Ghana.
holidays? They're going for holidays, or
They're going for holidays.
Okay.
So you're going for a holiday. And they're not talking about safari either.
And they're not staying with family either. So you're kind of
Exactly.
missing a whole, yeah.
So this is why for me it's like this, you now need to change it and be like, cool, let's now advertise Africa like you advertise New York. Because Senegal, Abidjan is like that. Lagos, Victoria Island is like that. Nairobi is like that. So there are spots out there that you'll be like, nah, am I in Africa?
You'll never know.
You know, so it's like, well, why ain't they using that term? And from a business side, I get it, but they will eventually, you'll see it happening.
What do you think they promote and advertise the UK for? Abroad. Obviously, we're from the inside looking out. But
Such a good question.
I bet you the whole thing is simply going to be about like
The royal family.
Royal family.
Yeah, you're right.
That's facts.
I bet you all they're going to see is the royal family and a red post box.
That's facts.
That's
And
probably
the-
why people come here, they're confused. They're like, oh.
It's a real city.
Yeah.
Because you know, sometimes we're looking at it from
No,
like
you're right. Because
Inside
when
out.
Americans come here, they're kind of like, oh, okay, there's more to England than just the royal family.
So I get what you're
Buckingham
saying. You want to
Palace.
portray, show the real busy, buzzy, wealth, opulent community and society. But from a tourism perspective,
But why would you not want to see both sides? So from my perspective, as if I were going to go as a tourist, I want to see safari, yes, but I also want to know there's going to be great restaurants, great bars. There's other things to do.
yeah.
And I think I thought about it as you were talking. I was thinking Dubai. You know, Dubai. They only ever show pictures of desert safari or opulence. But actually, they don't have. There isn't really, I guess,
There's not much else. There's
Yeah,
restaurants.
right.
There's
But Africa, there is other things other than safari.
Dubai's done an amazing job
Great
in
marketing.
branding
Absolutely.
itself.
Great branding.
Yeah.
An absolute phenomenal job. And they kind of piggybanked, well, I guess they're doing their own thing, but they piggybanked off the States. Because you can go to remote places in the world and the kids will be, oh, I want to go to America, live the American dream.
Yeah.
Because that was the tagline,
Yeah.
the American dream. You will sell everything just to go to American dream and find out that
The dream is not, it's not necessarily.
ain't like you seem, you know, but that's still branding and marketing. So it's like, well, we need to do the same. Market yourself in the sense that it's attracting people. America's not advertising that people are getting shot left, right, and center. They're not doing that. They're keeping that stuff in a corner. You know, so it doesn't help if Africa itself is constantly publishing the most negative stuff. It doesn't help. You know, so push.
And even
more
if you
good
think,
stuff.
yeah, you're right, because actually now I'm thinking safari or poverty. That's the two marketing options for Africa,
Two options.
isn't it?
And that's the two that they go with.
Safari and poverty. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, let's feed these poor kids, or let's go and see these animals.
From a marketing
There's no
perspective,
other-
there's no,
nothing
you
else.
can't talk about anything else.
But you could, but why, you know? Everyone knows now that Nigeria and Ghana in particular, people concentrate on
Ghana's
those two
doing
places
mostly.
as having a lot of money and opportunity, but they're still only
It's just
promoting
from
the two.
tourism perspective, just playing
It's a
devil's
Western
advocate.
world drama, isn't it?
Yeah, just
So you
what
want to
do
go out
plan?
there and you want to get some real images. You want to try and
Yeah,
provide
like-
that.
That's it. That's
Okay.
it.
In the Congo specifically or Africa in general?
Congo, because Congo's home to me. And some people have shown me pictures of Congo that I'm like, no way. No way. You know, from snow-capped mountains in the middle of Africa. That's crazy. We have the second biggest freshwater lake that borders about 4 countries. That's got longer stretches of beach than Miami. Why is this not a tourism hotspot? That's both an internal problem and an external problem.
Yeah.
I get that, but it's there. You know, you're talking about nature, beaches, mountains, all of these are tourism opportunities that if done correctly, obviously backed by the government and then backed by talented individuals who do what they need to do, it's an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Absolutely. Cool. So if anyone's interested in connecting with you, hiring you for your services, in fact, before we get there,
I was going to ask you a question.
yeah,
Go on.
before we get there, I was going to say, to any aspiring...
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Oh, we're just the same person.
I know.
Well, ain't this true?
So for any aspiring creative
Yeah,
that would like to get into your world,
yeah.
what would you advise them to do?
Don't waste time. Really don't. Because the speed to which things are shifting, especially in London, the big creative scenes, London, New York, LA, just don't waste time. Get out there, do what you need to do, kind of thing. So if you're a shooter, if you're a videographer, shoot, do stuff. Because obviously you'll learn as you go. It's a creative thing. This is not medicine, where you make a mistake, somebody dies. This is creative. Just get on with it. You know, so hesitating is a big no-no because it's so flooded. New videographers, new shooters, it's so flooded that the longer you take time, trust me, someone else is on it. And you'll get to a point where it's who you know. I think every industry gets to that point, is who you know. I don't care how good you are, but I can get on the phone and call him to get it done.
Absolutely.
How do you stand out in such a crowded, flooded market? Well, if someone was trying to do something, you know, not what you do, but they're trying to stand out, what do they need to do?
One, I definitely believe is consistency. You need to be consistent in what you do. I guess social media has become like the new TV, the new yellow pages where you find everybody. So if I can't find you, I can't find you. Very simple. So you got to put stuff out there constantly because you never know who's watching. Some of the emails that we've got, people have been watching us for a long time. and they said, oh, I was just waiting for you to just switch it up a little bit, then I knew you lot was about it. So if we were shooting faces just like this, and then that one shoot we done full on editorial and hotel, they're like, boom, we know you can do it. So be mindful of who's watching, but you got to put stuff out there constantly.
I like that.
And that's it. That's how you get yourself in.
Do you need to do, like, in this industry, do you need to do internships? Do you need to try and get work experience? Or do you just go out and just start shooting?
I think you can do both. This 2019, you can do what the hell you want.
There are no rules.
And there's literally
But you know,
like,
would people allowed to come to you, for example, and try and shadow you, work through? Is that necessary, or is it just there's no rules? Go out there, do your own thing.
You can. Shadowing in any industry, I guess, is very, very important because I guess you learn quicker. So if you're someone who wants to be that person within 6 months, go find someone, shadow. But if you don't mind doing it on your own, just chipping away at it, you will also get there. But yeah, shadowing for quicker routes, I guess. You know,
cool.
Like audio books.
And audio books. Love an audio on times 1.5 or times 2 or whatever.
That's it.
Listen,
don't read it.
That's how you're gonna get through this stuff quicker.
Sometimes person's voice though is too much when it's too sped up.
I mean, all right.
I don't like it.
Okay, all right. You don't like it. Okay, so final tip. Anything else you want to leave with our audience about you, about the journey?
It's you got to have the faith in yourself. I think that's the most important. If you can read all these business books, you can read all of them. All of them have this underpinning notion that you got to have a level of faith in yourself, because that is the actual key that unlocks everything else. And without that, it makes it extremely difficult, because that having faith in yourself and your abilities is the thing that I guess supersedes everything, because it's spiritual, it's you, and you got to have that. Got to have that in whatever it is you want to do. If you actually have some degree of faith in yourself, yeah, go for it.
Love that.
Cool. Excellent.
Well, Belange, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed that. I found that really inspiring, because I think sometimes you need to change the narrative and readdress problems, right? And look outside of your own sphere, your comfortable sphere of being in the UK. There's stuff happening everywhere. Don't feel like you need to just be here making change. But anyway, enough of my chat.
The man behind the camera is now in front of the camera. Where can they find you?
So MCM London on all socials. Website is mcmedialondon.com. So between those two, you will find us.
Okay.
Excellent.
Love that. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. I've been Bianca.
And I'm Byron.
And he is?
Belange.
I like the way he said that. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.